Hey, are you ready to make this boutonniere? Let's get started. We are going to be making the boutonniere that goes with the Citrus Blitz series. And as you may recall, we also made a video for a floral bouquet with lots of oranges and yellows and touches of white. And then we also had a centerpiece made with actual oranges, lemons, and limes, and then accented by flowers. And for today's boutonniere, we have some privet leaves as well as Mexican Marigold, which were both used in the bouquet as well as the centerpiece. And other materials that we'll need to make this boutonniere include floral tape, some ribbon to go around the stems once we're done, and a little bit of hot glue to secure the ribbon, and of course some pruning shears to cut these stems. Now I've already removed the leaves off of these marigolds because I knew I wasn't going to use them because I'm looking for a very clean look, and the leaves we will be using come on this privet right here. So I'm going to go ahead and place the marigold next to these blooms and see how I like the position. And I don't like the marigold covering up too much of the privet blooms since they're so pretty. So I'm going to lower the marigold a little bit. And that looks great because the leaves frame the marigold. And then we've got to decide if we want the leaves lower. I would like some additional leaves, but not at this position. So I'm going to go ahead and pluck these off, but I will cut the stem. So for a boutonniere, we need about maybe 1.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and cut at that point. And then doing that, it allowed me to have this stem that I can use as on the back side to create more greenery. Now, I think I'm just going to use this leaf over here. I think that's plenty of greenery. If I get rid of these two, it still looks fantastic. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to clip off these two on this side. And then cut all the stems to the same length. And then we'll be ready to tape it all. And one thing that I should mention is there's always a pretty side to the flower. So try to choose the best side to face forward when you're placing the flower. Okay, I'm going to start at the top. Just put your finger on the tape against the branch and then push the stems tightly together because you really want them all nice and tight. And before you go the full round, make sure that the flowers and the stems are where you want them, because once you get started with taping, it's rather difficult to move things to where you want them. So I am pushing the white blooms off to the side a little bit, just like that. And then now I'm gonna go ahead and continue taping. And with this tape, you want to pull on it slightly and stretch it out because there is adhesive within the tape, and that helps the tape to stick onto itself. And then when you get to the bottom, go a little bit past where the bottom of the stem is, and then just fold it on up onto itself. And like I mentioned, it's semi-sticky, so that'll help it to cover up the ends and keep the moisture in the stems, because these won't be getting any water. And you would ideally have these done no later than 1 day ahead of the event. And you can spritz it with water every few hours just to keep them hydrated. Okay, and I left the tape on here because I have this little trick where I put the ribbon on and then I use the tape to go back over the ribbon. See how I just went right over the ribbon? To help to secure it and hold it for me. And then I'll just do one more wrap. Let me just rip this off. One more wrap, just so the tape is really holding onto that ribbon. And see, now the ribbon doesn't come off, and then I can take it and continue to wrap. Now it's really important when you're starting off at the bottom to make sure you cover the green tape. So you can still from the bottom side, but at least from the forward facing, you can't see any tape. So just make sure you do that because you'll want a nice and neat look. And then from there, just wrap the ribbon up. And try to have an even distance between the ribbon, just so you have it a very clean look. And I'm noticing that this is very knobby here, so I'm going to try to clean it up a little bit by snipping it off so that it's a little bit more flush. Okay, and then see how I was talking about keeping it even? Well, this is a little bit too wide right here, so I'm going to unwrap it and redo that portion. Okay, so when you think you're almost done, just do it one more time because I want to glue it right here, but I don't want to glue onto the stem. So I'm just going to wrap it one more time just so I can glue onto the ribbon. Okay, and we don't need a lot of glue, we just need a little dab just to hold the ribbon into place. So just hold it like that for a few seconds until it dries. Okay, the two materials I forgot to mention are we need some scissors and the floral pins. So now that the ribbon is secured, we can go ahead and snip it where the glue is, or right past where the glue is. And see how it stays and has a nice clean back. All right, and then just to get it ready, we will go ahead and stick a couple of pins in here so that the groom is ready to put it onto his lapel.